So this is another, so let's do another example, okay? And the next one's going to be not terribly different, but it's a little bit different. Here, okay? Let's assume that, somehow you planned out that you know you can afford to pay $700 a month. Did I? Yes. Okay. So let's say somehow you know that you can pay $700 a month, towards a loan. Okay. I called it a mortgage payment. And really, in the end, it's just any kind of loan that we're dealing with now. So it could be a car payment loan if you want. Although I don't know if that's how much people pay each month for a car loan. But anyway, let's say you know you can pay $700 a month. And let's say the loan, from a bank, you're able to get 5% annual interest, APR, for 30 years. What we're going to do is we're going to determine then this stuff. We're going to answer these questions, basically. We're going to determine the largest loan that you can afford, okay? We're also going to see how much money you're actually going to pay whoever is giving you the money. It could be a bank or any other loan company. I'm sure there's other loan companies that do loans besides banks. And we're going to see how much money will be interest. How much of that money will be interest. Okay. So notice here, why is P0 unknown? Well, again, that's the loan value. That's the loan amount. And that's what we're looking for. The idea is that P0 is how much you're getting from the bank, the loan company, whatever. And then you would start paying it back. So P0 is our unknown amount. PMT, right? Again, that's our monthly payment, which we're taking it to be $700. R, I'm taking that to be 0.05, okay? So again, basically you'll see I'm going to use the formula, and we will do the TVM solver. So R we're taking to be 0.05, okay? And again, since we're making monthly payments, we're taking N to be 12, right? Because N is how many times the account is compounded, okay? That's how interest is calculated. So N is 12. We're assuming it goes on for 30 years. Okay, so let's do the calculation. Here it's a little bit nicer in that you just have to calculate P0. So I did do a little bit more here, mostly because I was going through my calculations and I have more of the steps, as you can see. Okay. Notice also that here I'm trying to write out as many decimal places as I can, because that makes the answer more accurate. But, again, I'm just using our loan formula, okay, with the stuff we found plugged in. And basically the largest loan we could afford is $130,397.13. So that would be the largest loan we could afford. If we're buying a house, that's the biggest mortgage payment we can afford. Oh, excuse me, that's the biggest the mortgage could be, so to say. Okay. So part A was just basically the calculation. I mean, the formula is not terrible. So in a sense, we don't need the TVM solver. So, okay. Now the question is, okay, well, that's part A. Well, remember, part B was, how much do we actually pay in total? Well, we're paying $700 per month, right? This is for 30 years. So we have $700 times, there are 12 months per year times 30 years. That's where the 360 comes from, 12 times 30. So we're going to pay this amount in total. Okay, well, once the loan is paid off, what's left over that we're paying? Interest, right? You're going to have to pay interest. How do we get that? It's not too bad. It's the total amount you pay minus the loan balance, that is. This is how much we're paying. This is the loan, assuming we got a loan for this amount. So the rest would be interest. We'd be paying this much interest. We'd be paying this much interest. Okay, good. It's a fair amount. Okay. All right. Okay, so I really hope that makes sense. That's one example. Well, actually, no, I'm not done yet. Let me do this with the TVM solver. Okay. Okay. So again, it's the same problem, but notice the variables are going to be a little bit different, mostly because PV is going to be our unknown, not P0. Although PV is P0. That's the unknown amount. Again, this is where the 360 comes from. Capital N is N times T, which is 360. We know PMT, right? That's negative. It's normally 700, but we're making it negative for our solver. Negative means the money's leaving us. Okay, again, you do have to be careful with the negatives. If I said otherwise, I apologize. That's our interest, but you don't write it you don't convert it to a decimal, so it's 5. FV is 0, right? Because we want to pay off the loan. We want nothing left in that in the the balance. And these two are 12 because it's compounded 12 times a year. Okay, so yeah, that's the amount. But let's go through the solver just to be safe, just to make sure we know how to use it. Okay, good. So this is fun. All right, so I can't shit. Let me get to that. So here we are. Again, the website is in the chat. It's also in the notes. I also made a link to it in Blackboard, actually. Okay. All right. Anyway, so let's put the stuff in. Okay. Okay. So we have N. Okay, so capital N, okay, was 12 times 30, right? 360 in that case. Again, it's 12 times per year times 30 years. The I, we said that's 5. We don't convert that to a decimal. PV is the unknown. PMT, that's minus 700. FB is 0 because we want to pay off the full loan. We want the resulting balance in the future to be 0. So FB is 0. These are both 12. Okay, so now we're solving for PV, right? That's our unknown. We click that, and we get this. So that's the most amount of loan we can get. I mean, there's a decimal there, as you can see. But I think it turns out to be, yeah, what we got, $130,397.13. So we get. Okay, that's good. And of course, the other parts are the same. So the other parts of the problem, that is. All right. Okay, next. Okay, now I want to get back to the lecture notes because I know I'm going to have you guys try one. All right. Okay, so I hope this makes sense because I want everyone to try the next one, which I'm going to do right now. Let it save. There it goes. I don't know why it takes a while, but whatever. So this one, I think I'm going to have everyone try, okay? It's very similar, except now I'm saying that the monthly payment is $500. The interest is at 7%, okay? So it's a higher interest rate, and the monthly payment we can make is less per month, but it still goes on for 30 years. So what I want everyone to do now is take about 5 minutes to do this. You can use that TVM solver. I did it through the solver and the formula, if I remember correctly. And then B and C figure out as well. Okay. So let me stop the recording, give you guys about 5